You want to know if a lion could take a velociraptor, if a grizzly bear could handle a raptor pack, if a hippo could stand its ground against something from the Cretaceous. I'm going to answer all of that. But I need to warn you now that the honest answer to this question is not the one anybody expects. And it is not a mammal. The animal most likely to beat a dinosaur in a straight fight is alive today. It has barely changed in tens of millions of years, and it was already eating dinosaurs before the asteroid ever hit. It never left. It just got quieter. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand why almost every matchup people argue about online is settled before the two animals ever touch each other, by something far less exciting than teeth. Before we throw animals at each other, we need rules. Otherwise, this is just noise. Rule 1. We are talking about a real fight, not a movie fight. In reality, most animal conflicts are short, ugly, and decided in the first few seconds. There is no circling, there is no drama. Someone commits, someone gets hurt, and usually someone runs. Rule 2. Size is not everything, but it is close. In animal combat, mass wins fights far more often than technique does. A larger animal can absorb damage a smaller one cannot, and it can end a fight with a single successful hit. Every serious matchup has to start with the scale. Rule 3, and this is the one people ignore. Weapons matter more than aggression. What actually kills is jaw pressure, claw geometry, horn placement, and armor. An angry animal with no weapon loses to a calm animal with a good one. And Rule 4, the one that quietly decides almost everything: environment. A fight on open ground is a completely different event from a fight at the edge of a river. Nearly every matchup I am about to describe flips depending on where it happens. Keep that in mind, because it becomes the entire answer later. All right, let us start where everyone wants to start. The most common matchup people propose is a big predatory mammal against a mid-sized dinosaur. Lion versus raptor. Bear versus something toothy. So let us be precise, because the dinosaur most people picture is not the dinosaur that existed. Take Velociraptor. The real animal was roughly the size of a large turkey, feathered, perhaps 15 to 20 kilograms. Its main weapon was an enlarged sickle claw on each foot, which was probably used to grip and pin smaller prey, rather than to slash open a large animal. Against a modern lion, weighing perhaps 10 times as much, with a bite designed to crush the windpipe of a buffalo, this is not a contest. It is a snack. The film version of this animal is a fiction. The actual animal would lose to a leopard, and probably to a large dog. So mammals win, right? Not so fast. Scale it up, and the picture inverts immediately. Consider Utahraptor, a genuine giant among that family, roughly the size of a polar bear, but built like a bird of prey, with a sickle claw the length of your forearm. Now put a modern grizzly against it. The grizzly has a devastating bite and enormous strength, but it is built to fight other large mammals, low to the ground, in grappling exchanges. The dinosaur brings something no modern land predator has: a long, mobile neck holding a biting head, arms with grasping claws, and a foot weapon that can deliver a deep puncture from a distance the bear cannot easily control. Honestly, I would favor the dinosaur here, and it is not particularly close, which exposes something important. The question is not mammal versus dinosaur. Mammals do not have a special property that beats dinosaurs. It is entirely about which specific animals you pick. So let us stop picking fair fights and start picking the ones modern animals could actually win. Here are the modern animals that people constantly underrate, and each of them beats certain dinosaurs comfortably. The hippopotamus. People laugh until they see the numbers. Around 1.5 to 3 tons. A jaw that opens to an enormous gape, lined with tusks that can exceed 0.5 meter. Skin thick enough to blunt attacks. Extremely aggressive, territorially violent, and comfortable in the water where most land predators are helpless. A hippo would kill most mid-sized theropod dinosaurs at a river's edge. Not because it is smarter or faster, but because it is heavier, better armed for grappling in shallow water, and completely unwilling to back down. The elephant. The largest land animal alive today, up to 6 or 7 tons, with tusks and a capacity for extreme violence when threatened. An elephant is not going to beat a full-grown Tyrannosaurus, but it comfortably outweighs and outdamages a huge number of dinosaurs people assume were unbeatable. Most theropods were considerably lighter than an adult bull elephant. The Cape buffalo. Around 800 kilograms of muscle with a fused helmet of bone across the skull and a documented willingness to charge, gore, and circle back to finish the job. Herbivore, but one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. The saltwater crocodile. Hold on to this one. We are coming back to it, and it is the whole point of the video. Now, all of these are strong contenders, but so far we have been fighting the wrong dinosaurs. Because sooner or later, we have to talk about the one you actually came here for. So who beats a T-Rex? Let us be honest about the specifications. Somewhere in the range of 6 to 9 tons, around 12 to 13 meters long. A skull over 1.5 meters in length, built like a bone-crushing hammer, with an estimated bite force that is among the strongest of any land animal ever measured or modeled. Its teeth were not blades. They were thick, conical, reinforced pegs designed to punch through bone and rip out a chunk of whatever they closed on. That last detail matters enormously. Most predators kill with precision. Tyrannosaurus killed with removal. A single successful bite could take a section out of a large animal. So who on Earth today can survive that? Elephant? The largest bulls approach or exceed the lower end of the T-Rex weight range. But an elephant's weapons are tusks and mass, and it has to close the distance to use them. The T-Rex has reach, a lethal opening move, and a bite that does not require repeated exchanges to be decisive. The elephant loses. Hippo? Far too small on land, and the T-Rex simply does not have to enter the water. Rhino? Around 2 to 3 tons with a horn and a charge, but 1/3 of the mass, and no answer to a bite that can crush its spine. Polar bear, tiger, lion, grizzly? All under a ton. These are not contests. Every land mammal alive today loses to a healthy adult Tyrannosaurus. Every single one. So, does that settle it? Dinosaurs win, modern animals lose. Thanks for watching? No, because I have been quietly cheating this entire time, and you might have noticed. Every matchup so far has taken place on land, in the open, in daylight, with both animals healthy and aware of each other. Change any one of those conditions, and everything I just said falls apart. Here is what nobody accounts for in these debates. In the real world, predators do not fight fair, ever. Real predation is overwhelmingly about ambush, positioning, and attacking something that has not yet realized it is in a fight. A lion does not challenge a buffalo to a duel, it gets behind it. So let us stop asking who wins a fair fight and start asking a better question. Which modern animal could kill a dinosaur? Now the saltwater crocodile steps forward. Consider what this animal actually is. The largest reach around a ton and can exceed 6 meters. It possesses one of the highest bite forces ever measured in a living animal. Its hunting method is to lie completely submerged, invisible, for as long as it takes, then explode upward, seize a limb, and drag the victim into water, where it drowns rather than bleeds out. It kills water buffalo. It kills sharks. It has killed big cats and bears in overlapping ranges. It is the most successful large ambush predator on the planet, and it hunts using a strategy that is essentially unbeatable if you are a land animal that needs to drink. Now, put a Tyrannosaurus at a riverbank on a hot afternoon. It has to drink. It lowers that enormous head toward the water, at which point its jaws, the entire basis of its dominance, are pointed away from the threat, and its neck is fully extended over the surface. That is the moment a saltwater crocodile is designed for. Would it kill an adult T-Rex outright? Probably not. And I want to be honest rather than sensational about it. But it could seize the head or neck, apply enormous force, and drag. And a dinosaur pulled off balance into deep water, an environment where it cannot use its mass, cannot swim well, and cannot bring its own weapon to bear, is in genuine mortal danger. For juveniles, sick individuals, or smaller theropods, the crocodile does not just have a chance, it has an advantage. And here is the part that should genuinely change how you think about this whole question. This is not hypothetical. It already happened. Crocodilians did not appear after the dinosaurs. They lived alongside them for the entire second half of the age of dinosaurs. And some of them were monsters. Dinosaurus, a crocodilian from the late Cretaceous of North America, is estimated to have reached around 10 meters and several tons. It shared its rivers with large predatory dinosaurs, and there is fossil evidence of the relationship. Dinosaur bones have been found bearing bite marks consistent with attacks by giant crocodilians, and Dinosaurus teeth have been found in association with dinosaur remains. In South America, Sarcosuchus grew to comparable enormity in the rivers of its own time. So the debate you are having in your head, the one about whether a crocodile could take a dinosaur, was settled experimentally tens of millions of years ago, in the water, over and over again. The crocodilian body plan is not primitive, it is finished. It arrived at a design so effective for ambush predation in water that it has needed almost no revision since the age of dinosaurs. Everything else has been redesigned repeatedly. Crocodiles just kept the original. They watched dinosaurs evolve. They watched dinosaurs dominate. They watched the sky burn and the dinosaurs die. And they are still in the river. But there is one more contender, and this one is not going to feel like a fight at all. Everything we have discussed assumes single combat between two large animals, and that framing is itself the trap. Because if you ask, which modern animal would beat a dinosaur, and you mean genuinely defeat it, remove it, end it, then the answer is not the crocodile. It is us. I know, it sounds like a cop-out. It is not, and here is why. A single unarmed human loses to almost every dinosaur bigger than a chicken. That is not in dispute. But humans have never fought as single unarmed individuals. Our entire evolutionary strategy is cooperation, tools, planning, and persistence. We have hunted mammoths. We have driven enormous animals off cliffs. We coordinate across dozens of individuals, plan ambushes days in advance, use terrain, fire, ranged weapons, and traps, and we are capable of pursuing a wounded animal for extended periods until it collapses. Give a coordinated human group time, terrain, and preparation, and there is no dinosaur that survives contact with us. Not one. Not the biggest sauropod, not the most terrifying theropod. In fact, look at the record. Nearly everywhere humans arrived, the largest local animals disappeared within a geologically brief window. The pattern is heavily debated in its details, and climate certainly played a role, but the correlation is difficult to ignore. The honest answer to which modern animal would beat a dinosaur is the one asking the question. So let me give you the real answer, in order. In a straight fight, in the open, in daylight, against a healthy adult Tyrannosaurus, no modern animal wins. Not the elephant, not the hippo, not any predator alive. That fight is not close. But in the water, or at the water's edge, against almost anything, the saltwater crocodile is genuinely dangerous to dinosaurs, and its ancestors proved it in the fossil record. And in the real world, where fights are not fair and intelligence compounds, we win. Not because we are strong, because we plan. Here is the thought I want to leave you with. We spend enormous energy imagining these matchups as though the dinosaurs were a separate world that ended. But the crocodile in the river watched the whole thing happen. The bird outside your window is a dinosaur, still going. The contest never actually closed. It just got quieter and slower. And now it is being decided by an ape that learned to throw things. If you enjoyed this, subscribe and tell us in the comments which matchup you think I got wrong. Watch next as we go back to the world these animals lived in and reconstruct what Earth was actually like when they ruled it.